of Annihilation. Uh, we are shy one member at the moment. Is Lennon, who plays Quen with us, is running a few minutes. I don't want to say behind because it makes it sound like it's late, but this life interferes, so we'll be here in about 15 minutes or so. So we will jump in and start up and wish uh, wish Lennon a speedy arrival, as you never know, our group may need Quen's assistance here.
Oh
Before we
no.
get too far in, just a couple of quick shout outs to our friends over at Team MZ. If you're a small streamer like us, definitely check them out. You can find them at Team MZ or hashtag Team MZ. They do a lot for support with small streamers like us. Thank you to Many Sided Dice. Again, we love their Lost Artifacts of Grey Gas, a wonderful magic items compendium that we use in our currently in both of our games. And then Nightshade Creations with their dice trays and things of that nature, which we gave the Friday Night crew gave away a Dish of Shame a couple of weeks back. So hopefully going to work with them more in the future. And for those who remember or don't remember, last week we awarded Quen the Nat 20 for this evening's game. So once Quen arrives, Quen will be able to utilize that, you know, whenever is warranted. So we will start out with where we left off. Our group had been meandering southward with Zandala in tow, so to speak, heading down towards the city of Mesro. The Zandala had tried to convince the group to bring her to the resting place of her father. The group, some members, the idea than others, seemingly everyone a little cautious about it, decided, well, why don't we go talk to your mother first? You say everyone's back, let's go visit. Zandala jumped on board with this, although a little hesitantly, expecting after the conversation you guys would then promptly do what you wanted anyway. Spent a few days heading southeast towards where Mesro is marked on the map you've received. And as the evening's watch on this particular night is going through, it seems like any other evening for the most part. Solana's watch, even Melik's watch. Melik seemed a little distracted, but the watches go through without much of a problem. Devanay, though, notices as she's making her rounds that Dragonbait is awake and is walking somewhat stoically in a straight line, sort of southwest. Devanay proceeds to attempt to reason with Dragonbait, speaking with him, eventually grappling him to prevent him from walking off, as Dragonbait and Devanay sort of wrestle a little bit, as Dragonbait is just adamant about continuing on this path for some reason. It's not responding to any verbal commands. Devanay struck him a couple of times just to try to, knock some sense into him.
Shocking grasp, I think.
Oh, shocking, yeah. Then we have Devanay starting to get dragged a little away. Hauls off and chucks a rock into Melik's tent. Melik, being woken as part of the tent comes down, a rock bounces over, sort of stumbles out of the tent, turns in the camplight towards this commotion, and sees Devanay currently grabbing onto Dragonbait, as all of a sudden Devanay's body starts to get crushed into this smaller and smaller little orb of fur with a long spiraling horn protruding out of the top of its head. And right before Melik's eyes, this odd occurrence is showing as Devonay has shifted into a small almirage that the group has seen before. And that is where we find our players this evening. If I ask my producer to follow the flag on over to the left. Oops, I have a token in the wrong spot. You're supposed to be up here with Quen. As we find ourselves standing outside of camp. Malak, on this, you are at the southward point of the sort of bright section of the campfire. With dragon bait, actually, sorry, these two would be flipped in order because she had grabbed him from behind. Dragonbait is still continuing his southwardly walk. And the Almirage that was once Devonay is just sitting there sort of looking up at him at the moment.
Okay, remind me one more time. At what point did Devonay start turning into a rabbit?
So Devonay chucked a rock into your tent, and as you're walking out, that sort of, oh, what's going on, guys? And then you turn and look, and that's what you're greeted with.
Okay.
Is a sign of Devonay sort of seizing up for a moment, and then just looking like somebody take a sheet of paper and is just balling it in on itself as fur starts to sprout and this long spiral horn grows out of the head.
Okay, that's wild. Okay, what is happening? Okay, so the only thing that I know to do right now is I have that charm of restoration that the crazy snake lady gave me. So, but the thing is, greater restoration, I don't know. Can I do like an arcana check or something on why did you turn into a rabbit? An Alohomora. Yeah, can I do an arcana check to see if I can do anything about this?
Yeah, go ahead and make an arcana check. I guess Melik is unlocking Devonay's inner rabbit. So as you're watching this happen, given your sort of speciality, we'll say, you are very aware this is some sort of arcane effect. Given what, let me see here actually. So I don't believe the restoration will do it. Let me just make sure. I'm not 100%. Okay, huh. Okay, given how the restoration is worded, I'm going to say it would not, and just based on what you know, it would not affect this specific situation.
Okay. Crap. Okay, Dragonbait is waltzing away. No one else is awake, right? I'm gonna grab Solana.
And it does look like the Almirage is hopping after Dragonbait into the jungle.
Right. This is so weird. Okay, because I know I can't stop them. I tried to move a little girl last week and it didn't work. So I'm gonna grab Solana because I know that she can make vines and stuff that grab people.
Oh, you're waking me up?
Yeah, I need you to wake up and because the big lizard is doing some Alice in Wonderland stuff that I can't even think about right now. It's
A
the
bunny
middle of the night.
coin! Oh my god, I've wanted a bunny coin for so long. Do you think I can keep
Stop
it?
it! Yes, get it. You can definitely keep it. I think it might be divinate, but you can keep
Wait,
it.
what?
Just do the entanglement spell.
Okay.
So as you are waking up,
Rev
these
or
two have made
entangle?
it. You watch as they're making it a little further. Dragonbait's sort of walking a little slow, you can tell. Think Weekend at Bernie's, that's sort of like almost zombie-esque, just emotionless march forward. Okay. So they have to make a strength check. So Devaney, go ahead and make a strength check. I have given you access to an Almirage sheet.
Oh yeah, the strength on the Almirage. Oh my.
Hey, the way I was rolling last week with Dragonbait, you may be stuck too. So, okay, so the Almirage is, let's see, is restrained. And what's your DC? Because I think that means Dragonbait is restrained as well.
15.
So he is restrained as well. And let me take a quick look at something here. Okay. Oh, of course, I need my... Okay, so here's just two of them walking. You've got a couple of seconds before they get a chance to break out, so what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk up to Dragonbeat and try to shake him, not knowing that Devaney did the same thing. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow. That was my thought too.
Okay,
You wanna
so
scoop
who...
up Devaney and I'll try shaking Dragonbeat?
Solana, will you draw the square for the entanglement spell?
Well, yes. Yes, I will draw the square with the entanglement spell.
I don't want to get up in that. I'm good.
I'll do like 20...
Oh, thank you actually for pointing that out, Digitio, because I forgot to mention that. Solana is marking off her territory. If you guys notice, there are some new tokens posted up here with some artwork courtesy of our very own Melik. And then
What's up?
tokenified by our very own Sarah. Solana. I don't know why I gave Dave's character's name Solana and Melik, or Dave and Sarah. So thank you very much. Got some wonderful new things. Maybe we'll run into a new version of Devaney at some point. Maybe we already have. So,
That's so sad.
So who is walking up first? Is it...
I'll walk up first.
Okay. I need a wisdom saving throw from you then, please.
Okay. I have immunity on charm spells. I mean, advantage, if that helps, but...
Let me see.
I made it anyway.
Oh, it does not matter either way. Okay, so give me a second. I gotta make sure I'm... Okay, so you guys get up there. And what are the two of you planning?
I'm just gonna yell, Dragonbeat, wake up, and I'm gonna start shaking him, and, maybe,
He doesn't seem to be reacting to you shaking him at all. You can tell he's getting ready to... He's sort of saving up his strength trying to rip through this.
I'm gonna, like, conjure a little water in my hand with, like, whatever that... Druidcraft! Haha, I'm a druid.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm gonna, like, splash it in his face and be like, wake up! I'm gonna slap him.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength roll, just to see if you connect with him. As you conjure a little bit of water, you go to take a swipe at him, and you notice it glances off his shoulder. It's a little hard as he's jerking around trying to get out of this.
Okay.
And he is going to make his strength check. And he is actually going to make his save on DC of 15.
Yeah.
And now, before he starts moving, Melik, you were working with the Almirage. So what is your...
Oh no, I'm working with Dragonbait too. This rabbit does not concern me. I'm gonna cast Suggestion on Dragonbait really quick.
Huh. Okay, let me a second. I
For
gotta.
Melik, at least, it looks like the rabbit is following Dragonbait, so he seems like my prime issue right now.
Yeah.
I'll grab the bunny.
So, so you're picking up the bunny corn?
Picking up the buttercorn. I
Oh,
don't know
The
what's
okay.
unicorn
happening.
is going to try to stab you whenever you do that. But maybe after Melik's turn.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
Okay, so Melik, as you cast your spell, takes you a couple of moments and doesn't seem to take an effect. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Big money, no whammies.
And as you cast it, it felt like you hit a wall. Your knee-jerk thought is he may already be under the effects of a spell.
Do you think if I cast Hold Person, I can hold him from walking? Should we just see where they go?
Well, that's not a bad idea.
And at this point, it's difficult terrain, so he's only gotten about this far. That brings us to the Al Mirage, who is currently restrained in these vines. Solana, you said you're trying to pick it up. Devaney, what would you...
No, I'll leave
Definitely,
it.
what
I'll
would-
leave him in the vines because I'll be like, oh, maybe he'll stay this time. Do I know that's Devaney? Did you tell me that?
You
was
have no
Devaney?
idea. You walked out and just saw this going on.
Malik, did you tell me that was Devaney?
I said it might be a kind of maybe, but I don't think so. I don't know. It's a rabbit right now. I don't know. It's dark. I can see in the dark. I'm just very flustered. I'm gonna go grab Quinn and see if I can find Devaney. Watch them for a second, and then I'm gonna come back with them, and we'll follow
Do you
them.
think if I hold person, it'll work? I'll hold person.
I don't know, because I just tried to suggest and it didn't work. But maybe that was because it was a charm spell.
I'll hold person. I'll try to hold person on.
Okay, let's see how that works.
Okay, so we've got
I'll cast it at a higher level.
Melik is charging back up north to go wake up Quen. And then we have before we get that far, let's jump over. So Devaney, currently you are restrained in the vines. You can go ahead and make a to get out if you'd like.
Why do all my things only last a minute?
Well, I'll try, but it's very unlikely that I'll make it.
Hey, you never know. Yeah, Solana, as you're preparing to cast this, you can see this little buttonhorn is furiously fighting against the vines, trying to get towards
It's
Dragonbait.
okay, Bunnycorn. It's okay. Shh.
Okay. And let me see here. As you start muttering your...
Yeah, I didn't know it was
And
concentration. So can I actually retcon
So-
that?
Yeah, if you'd like to, it's completely up to you. Solana would know that is a concentration
Yeah,
spell. So.
I didn't know that until I pressed it. So I'm gonna retcon that and leave the wall of leaves up.
Okay.
But I will move up and be like, Dragonbeat, what are you doing? Seriously, smell. Make some sort of odor. I don't understand what you're doing. What does it
And you
smell
watch as you smell jungle.
like? Oh.
You're getting nothing from Dragonbait. It is just a very slow, methodical.
like a void
No.
kind of thing. Like okay.
Yeah, it's literally the retail clerk, just
Okay.
nothing home,
Yeah.
sort of static around his head.
Okay.
So we will jump up north now. Quen, you find yourself, and welcome, Lennon. Quen, you find yourself with Melik charging into your tent, waking you up before dawn.
I say, how Ha! What's happening?
I have no idea. It is weird out here.
I don't know. It's really awfully dark out there, and I'm scared. I'm scared, Malik. I'm scared.
Okay, great, but stop that for a second. There was someone threw a rock in my tent, and then I woke up, saw maybe Devaney turn into a rabbit, and now Dragonbait is just wandering. And he doesn't, okay, just come on.
Okay. Quen gets up and grabs his robes and then gets out of the tent with Malik.
Okay, so as you guys start heading down, basically, for the most part, what Malik has filled you in, you can see there's a sort of section of the ground that is just completely overgrown with vines. You can see a small Almirage furiously fighting against the vines, and Dragonbait, almost zombie-like purpose, just walking in a straight line heading southbound.
I cast Detect Magic.
Okay, so, and as you cast that from, let's see here, and that is, I believe, a 30-foot radius from you. Yeah, and your immediate area flashes from your own items, and from some of the others' packs and things that they may have left sitting in their tent. You're not getting much beyond that initial range. If you're starting to move forward, you may pick up more as you get closer to some of the others down there.
Okay. I want to move towards Dragonbait so I can get in range of him. I mean, I don't think I saw where he went off to.
No, but you saw Melik heading off down south. So if you take off down your full move, which I think 30 feet, then that would put you in range. So yeah, you'd be, as you're walking down, you definitely get you're getting flashes from Dragonbait, seeing the different magical items that Dragonbait has on him. You're getting a couple of flashes from this Elmer. Again, Solana, Melik, all the different magical items you guys have. Let me see real quick. Okay. When you're looking at Dragonbait, though, you do notice, and the same with the Almirage, their entire body seems to emanate this sort of glow or aura coming from it. From Dragonbait, you get a strong sense of the magic that is currently surrounding him, belonging to the School of Enchantment. And for the small El Mirage in front of you, Transmutation.
Okay. So I see Dragonbait's body glow with magic of an enchantment, and I want to cast. I don't even have my sheet up yet. One moment, loading.
Not a problem. And while you're doing that, Melik, I need you to make a wisdom save for me. And we'll come back to that in just a moment.
I want to cast Dispel Magic on Dragonbait.
Okay, do me a favor, go ahead and click that so I can save me having to flip through the book real quick.
How many times can you do that?
Okay. So,
I have 3 slots for this level.
Let's play the,
okay. So go ahead
slots.
and do me a favor and roll me a, let's see, what is your spellcasting ability for your character? Is that intelligence or?
It's 14 intelligence. Yeah.
Okay, so do me a favor, roll an intelligence check for me.
No, you turn into a giant T-Rex, Malik. You're gonna eat us.
Okay, so as you reach out and cast your spell, and you start to feel the magical energies reaching out and trying to take hold of this enchantment on Dragonbait, you notice to the side of you, Melik sort of doubles over a little bit, starts grabbing to his chest and his stomach, and as much as Melik has just witnessed Solana, and you hear a sort of strangled gasp come from behind you as you watch as Melik's body is starting to be crushed much the same way down, contorting into this rather small, hairy creature.
Unicorn?
And it's you're
I have an
actually going
army
to
of unicorns?
do me a favor, Melik, roll a d20.
Army of unicorns. I'm gonna have one. Don't just spell magic on them for the end of the game.
Alrighty then. So with that, you
Y'all are
watch
really good at this
as
game.
Melik disappears, and a small baboon appears.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
And with that, as the baboon appears beside you, and actually let me give Melik access to our baboon here. You, Dragonbait will hear this. Solana, you hear it. You two are really the only two close enough to, but you both hear muttered curses as Dragonbait starts to shake off whatever effect he seemed to be under.
I go, hello?
Dragonbait sort of turns and looks at you.
Not you.
And
The person that was cursing. You were under a trance. I don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna move up and
go ahead and all of you
Oh,
make a perception check.
okay.
Perception is wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have access to the baboon. Ooh, okay.
Oh, the Almirage out-perceptioned me.
Yeah.
You have great
But
perception.
wow, you've got a +7? Holy hell. Okay, so actually, as you guys are looking, the Almirage is the only one that notices. And before we find out what the Almirage sees, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Okay.
As a baboon?
For the moment, yeah. Well, I'll say go ahead and roll as Melik. And then we'll
Okay.
just use it again. You're the baboon for the moment. Same for. Oh, Devonay doesn't have that option because I have her token hidden. Give me a second. Let me toss you on here, Devonay, and roll as yourself, and you'll be Almirage until something changes that. So there you go, people. You can now see the new token for Devonay on there as well.
Nice.
DM question.
Sure.
How long until dawn?
Probably about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. This is the tail end of the last break, last
Okay.
watch.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so we have there.
I didn't even have my character sheet up. Look at that.
Huh. And then what is our looking for? That won't make it easy. We'll leave there. No. Okay. And then initiative for you. Okay. So as we start and at the yeah, so actually at this point the Almirage is the only one who has seen anything. So we're just going to actually, where's the you're right up near the top. So Malik, is there anything you'd be doing as you have just turned into a baboon?
Reaching. I mean, I could do something a little more blue. I could start like throwing my poop around, but I don't know. No, nothing.
It seems like Malik's a little caught off guard at the moment as being
Devastated.
crushed into the big-nosed, bare-bottomed creature that is a baboon is putting Malik a little on edge.
My butt is out.
Okay, we won't look.
As for Devaney the Almirage, and actually, I forgot to click this. This is not the right music.
There we go.
Devaney the Bunicorn, you are currently restrained in these vines. But as you heard that muttering in the distance, and as you're fighting to get out, you catch somehow between Solana and Dragonbait a glimpse of fair skin and dirty blonde hair in the distance.
I knew it.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes,
kill her.
I knew it as well. Okay. Well,
Unfortunately, you are trapped and can't speak.
yep, exactly. And I'm not really all that smart. I'm wise, but not smart. So, I am going to continue to try to get out.
Okay. Just go ahead and make a strength check.
Mm,
Okay, unfortunately, you are still trapped tight
okay.
in that, in those enwrapping vines that's down to actually is the only reason Dragonbait and what you have just seen did not long ago vanish.
Yeah. So until somebody lets me out or does enough damage to kill me, I'm stuck.
And unfortunately, the party doesn't seem to be overly interested at the moment. So, that Dragonbait is going to turn and look towards you, Solana, with sort of a questioning look on his face, because he's really not sure what's going on. And actually, I didn't roll a check for him because I forgot to. So let me check and see if he would have heard anything. Back down. Yeah, no. So he didn't hear. So he's just slowly trying to pull himself free out of the and sort of pull himself over this way back towards camp a little bit. And just sort of looks at you with a very questioning gaze, and that'll end his turn, bringing it up to you.
Okay. Speech is a free action, right?
Yep. Well, within reason, you can't have a 2.5-hour conversation,
I'm
but
just gonna say, look, you were walking that way. We got concerned because you were lights on, no one's home, kind of look, vacated expression. I tried to stop you with vines, so I don't know what you were doing, and I'll drop concentration on the vines actually.
okay. So,
Oh, wow. Clear drawings? No.
Yep, so just sort of, well, here, I can get rid of it. Okay. Poof.
Oops, and I
there we
made
go.
another little one. Can you get rid
Oh,
of that?
yeah.
Just trying to grab it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so, and as you're going over this with him, he sort of looks over at you and, let's see. Actually, yeah, it does not specify that they're aware of what's happened, so he's just looking at you sort of like you're crazy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move up closer actually, because I heard the cursing, but I don't know
Yep.
what's going on.
Yeah, you don't really see anything as of yet as you move.
Okay.
I mean, you can use your action if you'd like to make another check.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Okay, nope. Unfortunately not.
Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna end my turn.
Okay. So with that brings us over here. So I need from, let me take a look here and see what is this save, as we now have, uh-oh. Oh, try to hold with us, Digitio. I'm sorry you got thunder. Okay, so let's see. Where? Okay, I need it. Oh yeah, this is easy peasy. So we have, actually, I need everybody with the exception of, yeah, everyone with the exception of Solana to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
You wish you were at El
Okay.
Mirage right now.
Yeah, you know?
I'm good at Dex too.
Oh.
It's like the only thing I'm good at.
Well, you used to be good at dex.
Oh.
As
Or
all of a sudden,
good?
starting in a couple of feet away from Devonay, you watch as a small cylinder of cold air starts to expand, ballooning out, encompassing. It grows 3, 5, 10, eventually a massive 20-foot column soaring into the canopy of the trees overhead with golf ball and orange size hail rocks start falling down upon the group of you. So for Melik and Devonay, and actually, Melik and Quen, you both take 22 points of damage, 8 bludgeoning and 4 cold. I believe that puts you out of baboon form. How many hit points does your baboon have? The baboon form have?
Oh,
Melik?
3.
Okay,
3
so
for sure.
immediately you fall out of baboon form, and as you find yourself again, as the baboon gets crushed by a couple of pieces of hail, and your body starts that painful expansion as the form of Melik is exploding back out of this baboon. You do still take 19 points of damage as the remaining 19 from the 22 you would have taken pass over to you. For the Almirage, who made the save, takes half that, so 11 points of damage, which means the Almirage is now gone.
Oh.
And Devonay has returned to us. So Devonay, you are going to take 8 points of damage as a result of this storm piling this cold and hail on top of you in this area. And then in regards to that area, you now have I want you. Okay, there's 10, 15, 20. Okay. Come on. Why can I not grab you? Oh my word, I can't grab my circle. Oh, there it
That's what
goes.
happened to my square.
Okay.
There you go.
So as you have, this entire area is now considered difficult terrain for the next moment. And as this spell is finishing being cast, those of you in the back see as
Do I finally notice her?
yes, as she
Ah!
has literally stepped out from her hiding spot to cast this enchantment, not really noticing that you were standing immediately in front of her.
Yeah.
And then turns from you and is going to break into as much of a sprint as she can and start to run away as... So you do get an attack of opportunity if you care to take one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is definitely going to hit. So go ahead and roll. Okay. So that is... Okay, so that will end... will end her turn. And we'll bring us over to Quen. Oh.
Connection. So Quen is going to see Shandala run away, and he is going to use his reaction to cast Misty Step and move 30 feet.
Okay.
And then, can I see Shandala from where I am standing next to Solana?
You can see it's not a crystal clear shot, though. You can see she's sort of like ducking, pushing through underbrush. You guys are in a somewhat wooded area, but...
Okay, and so I will run along after her in the same direction.
Okay. So, real quick, while you're doing that, I'm just going to toss out to our viewers, assuming they can... this. Apparently, Twitch is experiencing some issues here, at least we're thinking they are, as we're getting some reports that some people are having connection issues with Twitch, but other people are able to see it fine. Some people are saying their mobile apps are logging them up randomly, so...
It's
Just,
not me, it's Twitch.
Huh?
It's not me, right? It's Twitch.
Well, I was going to ask, do me a favor, take a look at OBS real quick.
Oh yeah,
Are you seeing any,
definitely
like,
I've dropped some frames.
How many?
14%, wow.
Okay. So yeah, it may be on our end. We may be having some minor tech difficulties, unfortunately. But we're in the midst of it, so we're gonna keep running as we can do.
Okay, and then I'm going to use my action because I haven't used my action yet. And I'm going to cast Suggestion on Shandala. And I'm going to ask her to, hey, wait up. Aren't we friends?
Okay, let's see here. So let's see.
No, I'm just dropping more and more frames.
Okay.
I don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
Michael's having technical issues trying to even log in. Maybe both. It may be the connection issue with that's causing part of the issue.
Okay.
So give me a second as I try to get over here. Okay. And let's see here. And wisdom save. And what's your DC?
14.
Okay, public roll. And she look as you're casting this, and you watch as her eyes almost start to cloud over for a second, and she shakes it back over at you and muttering to herself in Draconic, just again turns back to face the direction she's running.
Hey, no fair. I don't know that. Secrets don't make friends.
Actually, I just realized I forgot to roll someone. Just give me just a second here. Okay, is there... Give me the second roll. Okay, that's a 12. Okay, so this time we'll just deal with them next round. Okay, so anything else you're doing?
Nope, that's all I got. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so that'll bring us to Melik, who is currently in this sort of slippery...
Yeah, with the hilt. With it being the trouble terrain, do I need to make a check to move out, or can I just waltz
No,
out at like half my...
It's just basically each square is double movement. So it would take you about 15 feet to get to where you are right now. So basically just take away 5 feet. So what's your total movement?
30.
Yeah, so basically, that would have been 5, 10, 15. So say that's 20, you've got 10 more.
Okay, 10 more from there. I'll just...
Yep.
Do you want me to look into the settings, Matthew, or something?
We'll take a look at them when we take our break to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Digitio said he in his area kicked in and out. He may lose. Michael's having issues when he tries to log in to even watch it on Twitch at all.
Oh, no.
So it looks like there's a whole myriad of things going on.
Okay.
So I don't know if the issue's with our settings or if Twitch is just having a moment, in which case, no matter how much we tweak the settings, it may not do any good.
Okay.
If everyone could, like if Michael was saying, oh, I've got no issue logging in, gotta be, but...
Okay.
I've got 40 feet on her. She can hear me, right?
You can certainly try, depends on what you're trying to do.
Okay, this probably isn't the best thing I could do, but it's what he would do. So, he's gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. That is a wisdom save, and what is Melik shouting out at the fleeing Zandala?
I know we're supposed to be PG-13, so this is edited, but like, I knew it was you. I always knew it was you. You dirty scumbag little girl. You're never gonna get away with this. I cannot believe
this. She's muttering something. Quen, you can still hear as you're right next to her. She is still muttering vehemently in Draconic. But you notice she is now starting to raise her voice. Does anyone in the party speak Draconic?
Yeah, that's me.
Undercommon, not Draconic.
And say to who? What?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, nobody has any clue what is being shouted out right now.
Devaney speaks Draconic.
Oh. You start as you can hear as her voice is starting to raise. She is calling out and saying, "Anytime now." And then
Baby dragon friend.
Oh, yeah.
that will bring us over to Devaney.
Okay, so if I move out of this circle, how many feet will it take me?
It basically half movement until you get out of the red. So
So if I want to move here, would it actually take me 40?
Let's see. It's 10, 20. So basically it would take you 30 feet to get right outside the... like if you were to go right down here, you could get there with 30 feet.
Alright, then I'll do that.
Okay, and anything else you're doing?
I'm going to shout at Zendala. Actually, not at Zendala, but I'm going to say, Summerwise, can't you do something? But I'll say it in Draconic. And then I would like to shoot a magic missile.
Okay, so first go ahead and roll a persuasion check. Okay, and then go ahead and make your magic missile attack. Not bad. As Quen, as you notice this, Solana, you. At this point, as Devaney reaches out and these 3 magical bolts come firing out of her hands, and eventually, as you see them leave, Solana, a couple of seconds later, Quen, you watch as these 3 magical darts slam into the side of Zendala as she's running away. You can watch her almost stumble a little bit to the side. As a result of the blast, she is, Quen, as you notice, she is looking like she's taken a couple of shots, but she seems to still be in pretty good spirits at the moment.
Oh, that's fine. We'll see how long that lasts.
Okay, and with that, anything else you'd be doing, Devaney?
That's all I can do.
Okay, so that'll bring us to Dragonbait, who is going to sort of pull his way through the same areas. That's 10, 15, 20, 25. So you can get right up close. And is going to take 2 swipes with his longsword. Why do I think this is the right one? Haven't used this macro in a bit. Yep, that'll hit.
Wow.
Okay, so one of them will hit. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Okay, yeah, both will hit. Okay,
Oh wow.
so as
Definitely a fiend, so.
as all of you now hear a slur, she completely falls out of calling out in Draconic and is now flat cursing in Elvish at this point.
Yeah, Elvish.
Violently, and because we're PG-13 on our stream, I will not repeat a single thing that's coming out of that mouth, because that would easily bump us up past R.
Okay.
She is beyond angry at this point. And that will bring us over to Solana.
I'm gonna hold person.
Okay. So she will make another wisdom save. And she will fail.
Yep.
Okay, so is that...
And I ask, do you want us to just, you know, kind of stop stabbing her and wrap her up in rope?
No, she's going down.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. We're done here.
But questions, answers.
Not-
Questions, answers? She didn't kill you. She turned you into a bunny. Like, she could have
That's
killed
okay.
us.
That's okay. Just bind her
But
hands.
she turned
and
me into
gag
a
her.
monkey, and that's unforgivable.
Just bind her hands and gag her so she can't cast spells.
Okay, that's a good idea. Solana's gonna move up and just start.
Well, that would be another action, so you'd have to
I
wait
know.
until your next turn to do that.
Okay, I'm just gonna
So-
stand there and start looking in my pack for rope and stuff.
Okay, so as you start walking forward, I need a wisdom save from you.
Gorum.
You're a druid, you're good at wisdom. You're fine. As you start walking closer, you feel something sort of creep into the back of your mind.
It's like, honey, I just saved you.
Just sort of
No.
shake it off. Okay, so that brings us to Zendala's turn, who is currently paralyzed, but she can make her save again at the end of each of her turn. So she makes another one as her turn ends. And what's your DC? Is it a 15? Okay. So she is still trapped at the moment. As you can see, she is actively fighting. The body's trying to move. You're getting a very slight little bit of wiggle as you can see she's trying to fight through this. Okay, that'll bring us over to Quen.
Quen.
Okay, so Quen will take some rope and he will bind Shandala's hands and her legs and, I don't know, gag her with a sock or something.
Okay, so
Let me show you how to take down a wizard.
go ahead and make a, we'll call this a dexterity check. See how well you do at tying her up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are pretty sure that Zendala's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay,
What
and
should be doing?
I say to the group, we need to get out of here now.
No, we need to cast suggestion on her and have her tell us the truth of what
There'll be plenty of time for that later. We need to leave this place now.
Okay. Let's do that. Then.
Okay, so you guys are going to start trying to basically pick her up and carry her away?
Yeah, we'll have Dragon Ball do that.
Yeah, Dragon Beast should probably do that. That
I
seems the
can't do
most
that. Dragon
realistic.
Ball seems like
Okay. So as you guys start moving around and start picking her up to carry her back up, and I'm assuming you guys are bringing her back up towards the campsite? Okay, so we just got a heads up real quick from Michael. He's able to listen and it's running fine on the streaming end. So it seems to be the issue is 100% on Twitch's side.
yes. Okay, good.
So
Not yet.
thank you very much for
but-
clarifying, Michael.
you,
Hopefully it's
Michael.
not affecting too many others in terms of, one, their own streams, but two, any of our viewers who are hanging out with us.
I was just so afraid it was me.
So-
Okay, thank you.
No, does not appear to be. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Lennon. So what's your guys' plan to deal with? Where are you bringing Zandal and how this is working?
I say that we need to gather our belongings and quit this place.
Quinn, I agree. I think there's something else here besides Zendala.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to cast a spell if you cannot speak.
Let's leave. In the boat.
But I'd rather have her dead.
You can cut off her head after we know what's wrong.
DM question.
Sure.
Did I notice how Shandala used her magic? Like, did she have components?
I'll say go ahead and make a perception check. Well, actually, I shouldn't say. No, you wouldn't have because you didn't see her until after her Ice Storm spell was cast. And since you've seen her, you guys managed to get hold person on her before she cast another spell at you.
True.
Okay, yeah.
But I felt the effects of the spell. So she tried to cast one.
I think that's
You felt
Quinn's
the-
point, is that we need to peace because something else is casting stuff.
Okay, let's leave.
But I said.
Okay, so is
And-
Dragonbait and Solana, you guys pick her up. You can only get so far. Dragonbait's movement is only 30 feet, so the best you can get dragging her is here.
Okay.
Furthest I should say he can go. Well, actually, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. So it was. Okay. Yeah, I skipped a couple steps. Sorry, here. Let's rewind that a little bit. We're going to drag you back down to where we were down by Melik here. Because for some reason I skipped over... yeah. So Quen tied up, so Quen ended. Melik, what's your game plan? You're hearing everyone... Quen's tying up Zendala as we speak right now, saying, come on, we got to run.
I think, I mean, at the beginning of Quinn's suggestion, Melik was stomping down here to get his slap on. But we'll stop in the middle and get kind of huffy and then proceed to not help carrying her and wait until they can catch up to his current location. And maybe throw like one level 1 healing word on himself.
Yeah, there you go. So go ahead and roll for your health there. Devaney, what would you be doing as Quen is finishing tying Zendala up? Melik get a little irritated at Quen's suggestion, but seems to be holding pace where he is.
I would like to ask Volta to scout to see if he could see something else that might be casting spells at us.
Oh, okay. So go ahead. I actually gave you and Avalta's a hawk, right? I can't remember what you said.
Hawk
okay.
or falcon or something like that.
Okay. Well, we gave you a hawk token right there, so go ahead and make a perception check with Avalta for us. See if Avalta does any better than the rest of you have. And so as Avalta starts sort of looping around the area, looking to see what's around, you start getting telepathic messages back. It does not see anything of any import anything that can be recognized.
Well, I'll tell him to keep looking. I'm going to wait along with Melik for the other guys to catch up to us, and then, if necessary, help carry Zendala back.
Okay. So as that brings us back to where we were a moment ago, so sorry about that, bad DM. Okay, so we'll have Dragonbait can actually get a little further up. Starts a little off on my aim, but oh well. So Dragonbait gets up to about here, carrying along Zendala with them. Solana, would you just be following along?
Yeah, I'll help. Yeah.
Okay. With that, I want all 4 of you to go ahead and make perception checks. Okay, so, holy hell, Devaney. Okay, one more from Melik. Okay,
Makes
yeah,
it
both.
Volta.
And both. No, actually, only the 2 of you do. So as the 2 of you are watching as Dragonbait and Solana come charging up with Solana over the shoulder, you see a brief flash of... Let me grab my little thingy here. What does it look like? Okay, you see a brief flash come from about 35 feet above you in the tree. And it looks to be like a small frog at the end of a tree branch.
Oh no, not a grung.
And all of a sudden, as you watch that, and it's pointed down towards Dragonbait, you watch as the face of Zendala breaks into a slow, wide smile.
I shoot the frog. Is it my turn? I shoot
As no, it takes place after. I forgot to roll to put it on the initiative. That's what I rolled the d20 plus 2 for, and it got a 12. As you watch the image of Zendala start to get crushed into this small form appearing before you. And all of a sudden, this small winged reptile falls to the ground, still immobile.
Okay.
But you now see a small winged snake on the ground next to, in between the two of you.
The pseudo dragon.
Laying motionless. No, it literally it is a flying snake.
Oh,
So we're just gonna stick that there for now.
I'm so confused.
Basically, you watch the same thing that has happened to a couple of others in the group as you
Happy
watch
days.
Zendala
Okay.
get crushed into this and then sort of stretched out into this long snake-like appearance as two wings sprout from the back. And then, as you would expect it to just take flight and start to leave, given the fact it's still technically paralyzed, it just to the ground.
Idiot.
See, we shouldn't have killed it. Because it wasn't Zendala's fault, maybe.
And with that, it brings us back to Zendala, who at the end of her turn makes a wisdom save to try to break out of being... oh, but it's no longer Zendala. So let me pull that up here.
What the fuck?
Okay. Come on, did that roll?
No.
Apparently not. Try that again.
There we go. 17.
And with that, the flying snake is no longer paralyzed. But likewise, that's the end of its turn, and it can't move anyway.
Uh-oh.
And that will bring us to Quen. Who, Quen, you have just watched as Dragonbait is carrying Zendala charging ahead. Zendala disappears and turns into a small snake. And has fallen on the ground, basically surrounded by three of your friends.
Okay. Out of character, I wish I had a cube of holding. Or force cube or whatever. I will, Jesus. She's a snake now? Did she do that herself?
We don't
She's
know.
such a silly girl.
There's a
Yeah,
fun,
well,
though.
given that you bound her, you're pretty sure that she would not have been able to cast anything.
Do you see the frog? You didn't
Right.
see the frog.
No,
yeah,
only
never mind.
only you and Devon A did.
Oh, yeah.
And it hasn't circled around for you guys to be able to alert anyone as of yet.
Gosh. Sometimes I wish I wasn't a good character. Okay. Jesus. Everything's happening so fast I have no idea what to do. Think.
Well, you could just attack the snake.
No,
Or you could
I mean, I
it
could.
wasn't,
Sure, yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, it's a snake.
it wasn't the snake's fault.
You know what? I'm just gonna I'm gonna throw bookmark at her tail end to anchor her to the ground.
Oh, my-
Okay, go ahead and make a ranged attack with Bookmark. Okay. Unfortunately, you miss, as the dagger is now stuck into the ground about 6 inches to the side of this snake.
I want to use my 20. Can I say that? I rolled anyways, but
No, you'd have to use
Okay.
it beforehand, unfortunately.
okay, that's fine. Fine.
Okay, so with that, okay, anything else you'd be doing? So that's moving action, any bonus?
Mm. I have a feeling we're not out of the woods yet, so I'm gonna activate my spell singer aura, and that's my turn.
Okay. So that will bring us over. Where did? Oh, there we go. Okay, that'll bring us over to Melik.
I want to pick up Bookmark and finish the job.
Okay. So
No, a ruthless.
go ahead and roll. Go ahead and make a attack. Let me take a look at Bookmark real quick because I know it requires attunement. Where are you, Mark? Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll a. If you're using it like in your hand, just to stab a d20 plus your strength modifier. As the you don't get the bonus unless you attune to it, which you don't have. Yeah, so even with advantages, you're reaching up and the snake is starting to writhe as you drive your hand back down. Just unfortunately can't seal the deal.
Okay, as like a bonus action, I'm just gonna yell at Devaney like, "Third time's the charm, you get her!" And try and give her some bardic inspiration.
Okay. So Malik is cheering you on to put an end to this small slithering creature, Devaney. So go ahead and take your bardic inspiration die.
Well, I was just gonna cast magic missile.
Okay. So that will bring us over to Devaney.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
as you've
casting-
noticed, you saw the small frog about 35 feet in the air above you.
Does it look like the grungs that we saw before?
No, it's much smaller,
Huh.
and it seems to
Alright.
be immobile.
Interesting. Anyway, I'm still casting magic missile at the flying snake on the ground.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for that. This is not going to be pretty. Oh, yes, that definitely does enough to deal with our snake here. So come on.
And then I am going to...
Our snake vanishes in a rapid explosion as the form of Zandala is now laying on the ground, sort of grabbing onto her side and back from where the darts from your magic missile just slammed into her.
And I will point out the frog I saw.
Okay. So as you're pointing this out, and it brings us to Dragonbait, he looks directly at you, Devaney. After catching your eye, looks once at Zandala and then looks once up at the tree. And sort of looks for your direction.
And Devaney is going to point at Zandala.
Okay. So with that comes 2 attacks from Dragonbait. First will miss, second will hit. That is another 7 for basically all of you are close enough right now that you can definitely see that Zandala is bleeding profusely out of all manner of different spots, gashes, cuts,
You need answers, people,
burn
not
wounds
gas.
on the side. She is in severely rough shape right now.
No one wants
That-
answers?
I'd
No,
like
that-
answers a little bit, but
And that will bring us over to Solana.
But I'll get off my soapbox for now, and I will cast Thorn Whip at the little frog thing
Oh, okay.
and try to
So
pull it towards me.
go ahead and make an attack roll. Okay, so let me see here.
And can I tell my flying monkey to fly closer to me?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Okay. So as you cast that, it definitely hits. So go ahead and roll damage. Oh wait, why is that not rolling right?
What's not rolling?
It's increased when you hit 5th level. So roll
Oh.
another d6 for me. As you cast your vine whip up into the tree where you saw the small frog, Devaney, you hear a muffled sort of gasp and shout of something in Draconic. As all of a sudden, a small piece of wood with a small frog in the end of it falls to the ground. Right next to right between you and Zandala, Solana.
Hold a small piece of wood with a small frog on it? Oh, like
Yep.
the branch. Okay.
I'll say go ahead and make a perception or an intelligence check, whichever you prefer.
Not intelligent.
It is not a branch. It is far too small. The frog is tied onto the end of it and is very dead.
Mimic! Everyone run! Shoot! It's either a mimic or a... Oh, what are those things? Okay. I'm gonna run.
Okay.
Cause I'm gonna run.
All right. That's which way you're running to?
I'm running away.
Okay. Let's see here. So and as you're running, start to run away, that brings us to Zandala, who's currently laying on the ground.
I go, it's
And-
Bella!
As Solana's running away, the three of you watch as Zandala's hand slams down onto the ground, picks up this small wooden stick, and then with a quick glance around at everyone, points the stick at herself, and you watch as that same smile appears as...
Oh no. I was wrong in my guess.
Quen will use his reaction and will cast counterspell.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me check
Okay,
here.
I'll put it up on the thing.
Oh, no, that's a... I'm familiar with the roll. I just got to check the level of the effect going on here to see what you got to roll. Okay, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, as it is a higher level spell than counterspell is.
I'm going to use my nat 20 for that.
Alrighty then. So as you watch as the grin starts to come across and as you reach out and release your counterspell, the smile immediately fades from her face. And as she looks around, you hear her mutter quickly to herself, and using her own ability, as she can cast this as a bonus action. She casts Polymorph on herself, dropping the small wooden stick on the ground. As the flying snake reappears in front of you and starts flying up into the air 30 feet. And that ends her turn and brings us over to you, Quen.
Okay. So this is my last 3rd level slot, and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on her.
Okay, so go ahead and make an intelligence check, as once more it is a higher level than Counterspell. That'll do it. Okay, so is
Yes.
Quen is flying. Zendala is flying straight up, gets about 35 feet as the small form of a flying snake. Let me just see here. I gotta make sure I'm marking off these spells right so I don't want to inadvertently cheat you guys. So that was 1, 2. Okay, well, there we go. Okay, so anything else you're doing? So that's your action.
Say that one more time.
So that's your action to dispel. Anything else you're doing? Movement bonus.
I'm gonna move right up to where she fell down.
Well, she hasn't hit down yet.
Oh, she
It's still
hasn't?
taken effect. It'll
Okay.
be 6 seconds before she falls back down. So she'll be falling on
Okay.
her next turn and see what she does to try to deal with that.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that's fine. I that's my turn. I don't have anything else. I tried. I did everything. I threw my whole box at her.
Well, right now she's slowly changing back. You're watching that body re-expand back into Zendala, sort of almost in free fall. So, and that'll bring us up to Melik.
Okay. Man, that
So we
ball's
just
gonna be
watched a
so
snake
metal.
fly up, and then it's just rapidly expanding back into Zendala. Its vertical movement sort of halting.
So great. I am going to cast Shatter.
Okay.
Reasons. We still need to understand why she turned on her.
And I
Okay.
cast. Wait. Okay. So Lana brings up a great point. Oh no. Oh no. What would Melik do right now?
Wouldn't
Oh,
Melik be curious?
just so
Melik
many
was a
things have
baboon.
happened. So
Melik
many
is
things. I
curious.
feel like I've been proposed to on the second date right now. I'm just very confused, and a lot of things are happening.
Curiosity.
No, okay, so I'll meet you halfway in the middle. Melik's just gonna take out his hand crossbow.
That's not meeting me in the middle.
Okay, that will hit. So go ahead and roll some damage.
How is that meeting me in the
Okay.
middle?
I mean, it's not
Because-
nuclear.
To be fair, I did run away.
So- Zendala is still alive, but now has a crossbow bolt embedded in her abdomen. Anything else you'd be doing?
No. Mm-mm.
Matthew, you gotta stop making this.
Melik's
fight
pretty
seem
sure
hardcore.
we won this.
Okay. Stephanie, it's coming back to you as Zendala is almost completely changed back into herself at this point.
Y'all, I have speak with dead. We can murder at will. I forgot.
So I definitely would like to run over and pick up that stick.
Okay.
Can I do that? She's not at the ground. I can sort of dive under where she's falling.
She's still about 30 feet up in the air.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, she got a full flight up to use her full movement before Quen had a chance to dispel. And it's only been maybe 2 or 3 seconds. So on the point she's now, the wings are shrinking back into the body. She's doing everything she can to try to run, and has yet to find an answer for Quen.
All right. So I'm going to run over and pick that up and end up. Because I don't want her to land on top of me. And for good measure, I am going to do my last magic missile.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. Okay, as once more you watch as the form is still expanding, as 3 more darts fire into the torso of this slowly expanding woman. She is bleeding profusely, but she is still on, well, I can't say on her feet, but she's still breathing at the moment. Okay.
Yes, well, I have that stick, and I'm just going to tuck it somewhere on my person.
It really is, Melik. So yeah, that's easy enough to put away. And that will bring us over to Dragonbait, who she is currently out of reach of. So he's just sort of going to ready his sword looking at you, Devaney, like, well, if you want me to. But
How
can't
about
do
when
anything.
she hits the ground?
It can't do anything at the moment. And then, Solana, this brings us over to you as you have taken off running.
I run back.
Yeah. So as you're running back, you've got Zendala's about 30, 35 feet above.
Is there any way my web would hold her to catch her?
You can definitely try. And she gets a chance to save against it. So
No, like I want to not her not to die when she hits the
right. So
ground.
so where are you casting her? Are you trying to cast it on her up top, or are you trying to cast it so she lands in it?
Like between, like as a hammock in the between 2 trees.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. So you've run back. That you're casting web. Okay. And anything else you'd be doing?
Like you people, we need answers. Stop killing her. And Devin, I saw you take that stick. You always take magical stuff, and it's not
I don't
fair.
want Zendala to grab it
Still
again.
not fair. Point is, we need answers, not to murder people. That's my turn.
Okay. So let me check one thing here on her
Okay.
ability.
I'm still
no-
defending her.
Yeah, you're doing everything you can for this person. Just want to make sure.
I'm just gonna turn into a bear next turn and just chomp her head off if she turns on me.
Okay, so as she looks around and starts to fall back down. Actually, what is the radius on that? Oh, it's 20 foot. Perfect. So she looks down at the group of you,
I'm trying to save you.
and as she starts to fall to the ground, realizing actually, she looks down, and as she's falling, casts fly on herself. And you watch as she starts to fall towards your web, Solana. And then, right before she impacts, you watch her slow to a stop, and then once more, heading back up to the sky. At this point, she gets about from where she was, she's now about 80 feet up into the canopy of the trees and is getting harder for the group of you to see. And that brings us to Quen.
Bro.
You know what? I'm a big elf boy, and I realize when I've been beaten, when I've got, I don't have anything else.
Just shoot her.
I don't have anything else. No, I don't think so. No, I really don't.
You have a firebolt?
I have a whole person.
You have
I can
a
try
firebolt?
that. I do have firebolt. I also wait. Hold on.
Hold person, she'll be paralyzed and careen towards the earth.
I have magic missile that I could cast level 2.
So what's Quen's choice?
Quen's gonna cast magic missile at level 2.
Okay. So, Quen, how do you want to do this?
Oh my god! Okay, so I imagine that, Quen's gonna make, like, an image of a silvery bow and will pull back the silvery string and will launch these magic missiles into the once flying, then falling, and now flying again, Chandala. And, you know, like, mostly just, like, shoot to just knock her out, I guess. And then, yeah, and that's it. I guess I can move to also try and catch her, too, because I don't want her to die.
Well, you killed her.
No, she's just unconscious.
Oh. Maybe she'll fall in the web.
So go ahead and make a, we'll say make either a strength or athletics check to see if you can catch her as she starts to fall.
Would she fall in the web?
I'm bad at all of those.
If she flew straight off?
What we're gonna see, because she's now been shot and...
Oh, whoa, I critted it!
Okay, so she's been hit by 4 magic missiles.
Oh,
So
okay.
her trajectory is off, so she's not coming straight down.
Oh, okay.
So as Quen is sort of under there looking, trying to catch. Okay, so Quen, you do manage to catch the falling body, but given the height that Ms. Zendala's unconscious body is falling from, you take 34 bludgeoning damage as Zendala's corpse lands on top of you.
How high up is her?
She's 80 feet in the air. It's 1d6 per 10 feet.
Her fly speed is that much?
60 feet? Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I think y'all got this.
Quarterback.
Y'all got this. Okay, I'm gonna take a nap now. So have fun.
Are you unconscious,
So-
Gwen?
Yeah, I'm unconscious now.
Okay.
So as Quen and Zendala are both laying on the ground, side by side, Quen on the ground with the somewhat broken body of Zendala laying across. What would the group of you be doing as you watched her collapse down?
I would run over to Quen and start healing Quen.
Okay, well, Malik, what would you be
I was
doing?
gonna do the same thing. I was gonna run over and check and see what was up. Quinn is out cold. Zendala's out cold. I'm gonna shoot Quinn some healing really quick.
Okay. So as that's going on, Devonay, what would you be doing?
I would like to inspect the area where the frog thing was and see if there's any evidence of something else.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check. Okay. So as you're looking, sort of move a little closer under where you saw that and looking up, you can see a iridescent colored winged reptile flapping off up into the sky. It's probably about 100, 120 feet up at this point. Looks like it's taken flight and is just in full-on retreat.
So it's just not coming back.
It looks like it's cutting and running.
Okay.
My pet. A new pet.
Anything else you'd be doing?
I just keep looking around, making sure there's nothing else around the area while they're tending to the hurt and almost dead.
Oh, okay. So as you're looking around, you watch as Dragonbait starts to walk forward towards Zandala and looks over at you once more. Sword at the ready. He's looking to you to see if you want him to stop with a question in his eye as you told him to go to town when he hit the ground.
I'll say, if you feel it's necessary, I'm not going to stop you. I'm pretty sure you know why she was here.
We don't.
He gets a look. He gets a look on his face and sort of nods. And he looks towards Solana, and then over to Melik and down at the semi-conscious Quen, who has just had life sort of pushed back into him through brought back to consciousness by Melik's spell. You watch as Dragonbait seems to hold for a moment. Solana, what would you be doing?
I would shapeshift into a bear. No, first I'd say Melik. Heal her. I'm gonna put her in my bear mouth. So if she answers a question wrong, I'm just gonna chomp her head off.
Can I respond even though it's not my turn?
Yeah, you'd be able to speak for a second.
Great, Solana, that's a ridiculous idea. She can still cast spells and stuff. If she dies, I can still question her.
Oh.
And she has to, like, answer pretty much, I mean, she doesn't have to necessarily answer truthfully, but, like, I mean, I say we just go ahead and tie her up and gag her like we did.
But she can
She
get out
doesn't
of
have
that.
her little special polymorph stick anymore.
But you can still polymorph, because she did it without her stick.
But that was after she was untied and ungagged.
Oh, right. No. I'm confused. It was the
She was
The
tied and
frog.
gagged, and the stick turned her into a flying snake,
the-
and then
the dead
unflying
frog
snake.
with the stick.
Three
did
flying.
turn her. Yeah.
And I have the stick, so she can't do it.
Okay. So should we revive her? I'm gonna
I
revive
think
her.
let's truss her up first, and then we can revive her.
Okay, I'm gonna tie her up and then I'm gonna revive her. Or,
Okay, do you
can I
have a
that?
spell that you can cast as a bonus action to heal her?
Yeah. Isn't... Which one? Healing word?
Healing word is definitely.
Is that a bonus action?
Yep.
The
So go
healing
ahead and
word
make
is
a
good.
make a dexterity roll to see how well you can how well you do tying her up.
Okay.
Not bad.
And then I will healing word her.
Okay. Okay. So as you cast into her, eye slowly comes open as she is now bound for, at this point, I think we are fairly safe to pull you guys out of initiative, at least for the moment. She is now bound, and as Devaney is aware, her little helper has taken to the leaves, so to speak. So everyone has come back to consciousness. Zendala is tied up, currently still sort of sprawled across Quen, who is now awake. But at this point, this is the best place we're going to hit for a little while to take our quick 3 to 5 or 7 minute break, whatever it may be. So we can run and get drinks, facilities, and whatnot. I want to say thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks for hanging in there with us.
As Zendala is alive and currently in the possession of our group. Where will they take it and what will happen next? We'll have to see when we get back. So for the moment, thank you again. We'll be back shortly. Ms. Producer, if you can bring us on over to break.
Alright. How do I mute us all again?
So in OBS, there's an option to mute your mic and the
Gotcha.
Okay, and welcome back, everyone. Thank you for a couple of moment break so we could, go top off and get our nameless beverages because, they are not sponsoring us currently. So, you want to be sponsored with us? Tell us. We'll gladly advertise your beverage. In the meantime, though, our party has managed to defeat the treachery of Zandala. She attempted to capture Dragonbait for some purpose with her magic and has been defeated by Quen as she attempted to fly away. Quen being ever the dashing hero after rendering Zandala unconscious, attempted to catch Zandala. Unfortunately, Zandala landed on Quen a little funny and both were rendered unconscious, but through some quick thinking from Melik and Solana, both have been brought back to consciousness, but not before Zandala had been bound and gagged. And that is where we pick up our party. That was our party continuing.
All right. Someone's got to be the good cop. Someone's going to be the bad cop. And I'm not good at being the bad thing.
Well, I'll start by being the technical cop and go ahead and cast this suggestion.
That's probably a good.
Okay. So is guessing what's Melik's DC?
It is 15.
Public roll. And Melik's eyes get a little glassy. What are you suggesting to Zandala?
First of all, welcome back to the world of the living. Second of all, we're going to interrogate you. I want you to answer all of our questions truthfully. And as soon as we ungag you, there is to be no magic casting from you for the duration of your ungagging. Or post that. None of it.
You get sort of a somewhat, almost like a drunken or stoned nod.
Unimpressed. Okay. Solana? Is incapacitated currently, so I just want to go ahead and ask you first off, what were you thinking you were doing tonight?
You wouldn't lead me, so I needed Dragonbait to lead me.
To where?
To where Artis is buried.
Is Artis
And
your
for
father?
what purpose?
No.
Oh.
Why did you need to go to Artis's body then?
I need his ring.
I knew it.
Why do you need?
Why
his
do you
ring?
want his ring?
It will make me immortal.
No, it doesn't really do that.
How
Artis
so?
died.
How so would that ring make you immortal?
You do not age.
Ah.
How did you find out about this ring in Artis? As in, let me rephrase. How did you find out that Artis had this ring?
He is a human who has been alive for well over a century.
So you assumed he had the ring.
No, the ring is in his possession.
Okay, out of character question. I don't know if you actually know, like, Matt, like how she knows that Artis has the ring. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, are there other people that could be doing the same stuff that she is, like, trying to do?
Out of character and DM honesty, doesn't say how she, so I ain't got a foggy.
Okay.
In character knowledge, though, Artist told you the giants were after the. Well, actually, I don't know if Malik was involved in that conversation. Some of you know that the giants are after the ring. All of you know the giants were after Artis because he was their target during that big battle. So it's as you're starting to hear this, Malik is not an unintelligent person. It's safe to say Malik is sort of putting two and two together that, oh crap, the giants were after him. Now this person's after him. It's not unreal to think that other people might be looking for that situation.
So
Now, will they necessarily know about Dragon?
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Who
If they
knows?
know about if everyone knows about Dragon Bait or us. Do you know if anyone knows about us and Artists, or is it just Dragon Bait and Artists?
I learned of the Sorial when I got to Port Nyanzaru. There was no mention of others.
It's good for us. Devine, do you have any questions?
I just want to point out, we have now been walking around with Dragon Bait.
Yeah, Dragon Bait's basically us now, so that's still not great.
But we can't leave Dragon Bait. It's our buddy.
I didn't say that.
No.
Where did Quinn? Are you still there?
Quentin disappeared for a moment. Had some sort of connection issue, dropped out of Roll20 and said, be right back. I'm assuming he's trying to reconnect or something.
Okay.
Is Zendala your real name?
Yes.
Where
Or are you from Mesero?
No, Mesero has been gone since the spell plague.
It ain't back. Where are you from?
I'm not prepared. Check real quick. Don't believe it. Says.
If we let you go, are you going to try to come after us again?
I must retrieve the ring.
Why?
No.
Give me
I'm
the
gonna
ring
kill
and I
her.
will not come back.
Alright.
She's dead.
I'm gonna turn around and walk 30 paces away. Good luck.
Devine, did you say you're striking?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Let me get a couple more tidbits out of her, and then we will dispatch.
Solana's still walking away, though, closer to the fire. She doesn't need to hear the rest of this. She's gonna talk to Davy Jones and brush his hair.
Okay. Okay, so looks like Quen is up with Solana and Davy Jones back up at camp. It just leaves Melik, Dragonbait, and Devine down. So Melik, what else are you looking to get out?
So where are you from? Like, who are you?
I am Zendala. The ring is everything. That is all that matters.
Why?
It will bring me power and immortality.
I understand. I mean, can I ask, what's your overall goal?
I am destined for greatness. With the ring, I can receive greatness.
You're just a sociopath. That's fine. Devine, I was gonna see if Dragonbait wants to do the honors, since she kind of tried to dupe everybody into thinking that she was Artis's kid, which I think is not cool. But either one of y'all, I'll just step back. I'm good now.
All right. Devine will look over at Dragonbait and sort of motion. Go ahead.
Takes a step back. He's leaving it up to you and the group.
Davy Jones, your fur is so pretty in the moonlight. The dawn light. I love you, Davy Jones. I'm gonna hug you now, even though you're a big smelly monkey. And I like literally just hide my face away from all that's going on.
Yeah,
As you
Devaney
bury
will.
your face in them, you start feeling little fingers picking through your hair again,
Oh,
trying
okay,
to
that's
get any
fine.
bugs or anything,
Yeah.
trying to groom you.
Yeah, I love you,
Devaney
baby
will-
baby.
Take her short sword and eat in with her. Do I need to roll an attack?
No, she's bound, laying on the ground. She's suggested.
Just give me my
Um,
rope back.
And
I'll
go
be sure
ahead.
not to cut any of Solana's rope when I do it.
Okay.
How much? What's the die for your short sword, though? Like, what's the damage roll?
1d6 plus 4.
Okay, just go ahead and give me a damage roll. Because you're automatically gonna. Well, actually, if you hit, it's automatically a crit. So whatever you roll, you're gonna double. Yeah. So as you walk over, how do you want to kill her?
Just run her through chest area.
Okay. So you sort of walk up, and she's sort of focused more on Malik. Make sure to get it in between the rope, so you don't cut anyone's rope, and just slide the blade in to pierce her heart. As sword goes in, you watch as the eyes flash with hatred for a split second, as the pain is enough to shake her out of the suggestion, but not enough time for her to actually do anything other than just look at you with contempt and hatred as she slumps to the ground.
Girl, I tried like
And-
5 different ways to not kill you, so. None of that.
With that, Zendala is dead and laying on the ground.
And Devaney will proceed to undo all the ropes and make sure they're all in good order for Solana.
And I
Easy enough
think
to do. A
also-
little bit of spurts of blood on part of it, but
I'm a druid. I'm fine.
I think we can also safely say that if anybody comes up and it's like, "Ugh, I loved Artist so much, my best friend, can I like go see his pod? Like, oh, I love it. Like, let's just not.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. We could be important
And-
answers still right now, but we decided
And
to not be.
and while I'm doing that, I'd also like to search her body.
alrighty then. So go ahead and give me.
Give what? Cut out.
Basically, is Devaney is rummaging through the corpse as she's Hey, Digitio, don't go give my players ideas.
A
Mind if I
perception
per-
check?
No, investigation.
Investigation.
You're rummaging through the body, so
Mind if I participate as well?
sure, you can give her advantage if you want to. You guys are both right.
Well,
I'll say, okay, you already want to go ahead. Okay, so as you're starting to look around, it seems like you might be a little uncomfortable for some reason, given, the execution, so to speak. But, okay, so let me see here. I gotta find my, okay. Let's see what we got on here. So, well, easiest thing to find is you do find a full quarterstaff that she had strapped to her that she hadn't pulled out. And then you also find, that is very nice, guys. Here. Okay. Come on. Okay. I gotta do my rollout. Okay, and oh no, roll it, you thing. All right, well, okay, that wasn't great. Okay, so you've managed to find, as the two of you are searching through the body together, 3 platinum pieces 160 gold pieces. And Devaney has already found the other item that was housed with a small pseudo-dragon that was driven off during the battle.
Now, is that pseudo dragon the same one that Zendala had with her, or a different one? Just out of curiosity.
From what you saw, it appeared to be the same one. Same
Okay.
coloration on it.
All right.
So 3
So-
platinum.
3 platinum, 160 gold, and a crooked wooden stick with a dead frog strapped to the end of it.
Which
Metal.
is currently in Devaney's pocket. Making it smell bad, probably.
Probably a little bit.
But Devaney will go over to Quen and hand him the stick. Say, could you maybe discover what this is? But I think Solana could use it.
Yes, I'll give it a try. Quen is still really woozy from being unconscious for a second. So he's going to take the wand and is going to cast Detect Magic on it and see what it's about.
Okay, so as Quen goes through and casts a spell on the wand, the next couple of moments you manage to discern that it's a wand. It has the capability of transmutation. That's really all you can get from Detect Magic with it.
Okay, knowing that, can I roll Arcana to identify it?
Sure, you can make a roll.
Does anyone have identify?
I don't have Identify, which is silly. Sorry, Arcana, yeah. There you go.
Okay. You're really not sure. You know it's transmutation of some sort.
Well, whatever it is, let's just hold on to it. It looks like it can change shape.
Yeah, I think Solana would make good use of it. What do you think?
I think so. Transformation for the druid.
More transformation for the druid.
So Quen walks up to Solana and hands it over to her.
You're giving me a stick? I look around for a stick. I'm like, do you want one back?
No, just you take this one. It's a gift.
Oh, awesome.
See the frog on it? Don't touch it.
Don't touch the frog.
No. Maybe
think-
just hang out with it, see what it does.
I dig out my wand of fireballs and
Oh, it's the same.
I hold it up, and it I think it might be something like this. Quen knows
Okay.
it's magical,
Um,
but we're
do I
not
really have
completely
to
sure
keep
what
the
it
frog on
does.
Devaney.
Hmm?
Do I really have to keep the frog on it?
I think so. It might break if you take it off.
Is it like a dried out frog or a petrified frog? What kind of frog are we talking about?
It looks to be petrified.
Okay, so it's not gonna stink up my pack.
It's you don't think so.
Okay,
It's it's a little creepy looking, but
yeah, I'll just put it in there. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
exactly, yeah. It sort of has that embalmed body smell that you get at a funeral home.
Yes, great.
Formaldehyde.
That is so not how you spell it, I'm sure.
I couldn't tell you if it is or isn't.
So I'm just gonna put it in my thingy until I know what it is exactly.
You'll have to play around with it a little bit, try it,
Hey Malik.
What's
I'm
up?
in the mood to change.
What?
Do you want to transform yourself?
What?
Do you want to help your friend Solana?
Okay, what do you want? What?
Do you want to stand there while I cast this wand at you?
Not at all. But
Okay. I won't do it on something living yet. How about that? Especially not one of
Perfect.
my friends.
Take some practice shots first, and then we'll talk.
Okay. I will consider it.
Can we do anything with his body, or are we just gonna leave it here?
We should maybe consider ways that she cannot become undead.
Do you want me to light her on fire?
I don't
mean, I
know
have
if
this
that'll work.
fancy wand of fireballs.
Just creaming
Sure,
her.
I like it.
I mean, I can just cast fire on her. Seriously, like. produce
Solana,
flame.
you hear in the back of your mind a small voice say, "Why don't you eat it?"
I go.
Whoa.
I mean, it might make a great leather bag.
You could eat it.
Traitor leather.
No, guys, do you want to like try it? Like maybe she's like a. Wait, no. What am I talking about? Is that cannibalism? It's cannibalism.
Yes.
Well, she's not an elf, is she?
She's
Where did
a
that voice come from?
oak elf.
Lots of people speak Elvish.
He also spoke dragon, and we've had lots of lizards, and that's close enough, so I don't know.
I'm not a dragon, and I speak Draconic.
You caught me there.
Let's not eat her. I'm just gonna light her on fire. So I'm gonna produce flame.
Will that burn her to ash?
Burn the what?
Burn her to ash.
Yes, yes.
Cremation.
Yeah.
You can build a pretty good pyre and then I'll get everything set up and with Solana casting produce flame, we'll get a good enough flame to go around it.
Okay, funeral pyre.
So as you guys proceed to finish out the tail end of Devaney's watches for the rest of you, doesn't seem to be much point in going to sleep at this point, as you'd all be getting back up in about 15-20 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
As this happened right at the tail end of the watch, as you've been dealing with this and the smoke starts to rise off of the pyre you built to destroy the remains of Zendala. The sun creeps over the over some of the canopy, and you start to see the light sneaking through. As Ms. Producer, follow the bouncing player flag if you would, back to the right, as our party now has some decisions to make.
Yeah, where
as
do we
they
go
come
now?
to consciousness and realize that the last few days have been an elaborate lie to attempt to get Dragonbait to lead her to the resting place of Artis to claim the ring that is currently buried with his body.
Why don't we just go to Curse the Ball and go see those friendly eagle people? They were really friendly. Or we can go back to Port Neandrew. Or we can actually finish this mission. But, you know, let's not do that.
So as you guys are discussing, where you mentioned Curse the Balls, Solana, you remember that there was talk that if you went there, that the leader of the that area, and let me see exactly what they said they would do for you. Let's see here. Yeah, so he says if you visit Crucible, you can petition a shower to perform the Dance of the Seven Winds. And if you do this, you'll have the ability to fly.
What? Why don't
He
we do
did.
this?
He didn't say how long though.
Oh.
Said that it was capable of doing it. So
Maybe we should do this. I can't hear you, dude.
I'm pressing the wrong button.
Oh,
You're going to curse the ball.
okay, we should.
For sure.
Okay.
I don't want, especially now
Definitely.
that we've heard that there's royalty there. I don't want anything to do with it.
Probably not elven royalty.
Elves don't really have royalty. Not like kings and queens, but other people do.
You don't like royalty?
Nope,
I thought you were royalty.
that's right.
Sorry. Wait, so you don't like royalty, but you are royalty?
Yeah, that's how
Are
it
you
is.
running away from your problems, Devin A?
Well,
By joining a
weren't-
ragtag bunch of adventurers that just wanted.
you weren't promised in marriage to somebody you hated, so
No, it wasn't.
Me either.
That seems
Um,
not fun.
I mean, should we unpack this right now? Like, are you worried that if we do go over there, like, somebody's gonna find you?
it's possible, but
Well,
And-
okay.
Yet.
and we were the
Are they
creature that we
actively
freed was
seeking
only
you?
nice to us because we freed them.
Yeah, are they actively seeking you, the people that you don't want to marry?
Well, I didn't really say goodbye, so they might be.
Well, I think we should be able to offer up. Do you have another suggestion, Devine, that you would rather do? I mean, flying is great. I would love to fly. Gosh, I would love to. But if there's something else you would rather do, I think we should open the table.
Well, we still have other options. We did hear about that airship,
Oh yeah,
and
we
there
can fly
was
on
that thing that Wakanga was talking about
We have no idea
that
where
Quinn
that,
was interested in.
where that airship is, though. Right?
No, but we were going to ask around. We just got distracted by Sandala.
Oh. Should we go back to Port Nyantaru, or should we go to Cristobal, or should we just wander in the wilderness looking for an airship?
Well, Wakanga's thing was this red X, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could just hang a sharp west, head over there and check that out, and then pop back up.
That's true.
Yeah, just do a smaller triangle than last time.
Or
Yeah.
we can go here and talk to the friendly people that we could fly to.
I mean, does anybody have a fly spell? We could just, do that.
Not yet.
And I can't fly yet either.
Me either. But
Solana, that wand you got might be able to do that.
Oh.
Huh. True. I need to know more about it, though, before I point it at Malik again.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the thing that turned Zendala into a flying snake.
Yeah, but I don't know if it'll always turn me into a flying snake or not.
Well, maybe it could turn you into something better,
Yeah.
Flying monkey.
like a hawk. And I'll point over to Avalta.
Avalta's pretty useful.
well, I think if we're all at least comfortable with the small triangle plan, we can go ahead and do that.
Okay. Let's
All right.
I think we've had enough weird drama for a while, what with the gruesome skeet shooting and the execution that occurred last night. So I'm
You mean
good keeping
15
it chill.
minutes ago?
Good old
Yeah,
commute
15
travel.
minutes ago. Wow, it feels like days ago.
Time flies. Okay.
okay, so what is the group?
Yep, we're gonna head over there, yonder.
Head
Yeah.
west.
Okay, so as you guys are picking up camp and getting ready to head west towards the task set to you by the merchant prince, who is taking your navigator ship.
I will. But do I get advantage with bookmark?
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Oh, okay, yep. So go ahead and roll with advantage as Quinn's helping you navigate.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you seem to be having no problem. Actually, forgot to roll. Let's see what the weather is like today. And of course, because I forgot to roll, as you guys are finish up your fight and all of this talking and chit-chat you've had in the morning is going on in the middle of a somewhat heavy thunderstorm.
I knew it. What a cool harbinger.
At least it's not a typhoon. So as you guys proceed to start heading off to the west towards the rough marks that you received from the merchant prince, with Solana and Quen sort of steering the ship. What would Malik and Devanay be doing during this?
I mean, I do want to ask Devanay something really quick. I mean, like, this crossed my mind, but like, do you think that maybe we should go back down to Artis's body? Like, this whole ring thing is a little bit concerning to me. You know, if people are going to come after us, essentially, I don't know if we should just leave that ring down there. You know, I mean, if someone just stumbles on it, and if it's that powerful, like, that's kind of crazy.
Well, the jungle's a big place. I doubt that anybody's going to stumble across it anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. It's just at the rate of random strangers that keep finding us anyways, it still feels a little troubling. But, I mean, if you think it's fine, then...
Yeah, and what are we going to do with it when we get it? Like, we'll be in even more danger.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I guess I would just rather, for some reason, it's something about me is like, I would rather be getting attacked for a real reason than just telling people we don't have it, and they still do the dang thing, so, I don't know.
Well, I think leaving it with Artis in the ground somewhere in the middle of the jungle is probably the best place for it right now.
Right. Out of character, Devanay's never going to tell me she's got it, huh?
Devin
No,
doesn't
she's
have it. She knows
She
where
don't
it is, though.
know. She is not telling you.
Might be better if it was with Artis in the ground,
Yeah,
actually.
that's right.
So as you guys continue on through the day's travel and through the night, you guys manage to go through, it's actually your next couple of days travel seems to be carrying through. You don't really have any problems going through. First day passes, you travel through. The second day, storm starts to seems to be easing up a little bit. The heavy rains start to die down. During your first day's travel, though, you do manage to fill all your rain catchers. So you have fresh rainwater, no need to worry about boiling, as you guys were starting to get a little low during the travel. Second day's traveling, again, heading westward ever. Much the same. And I completely forgot to turn off the sound effect of my storm. Good. There we go. You had to travel through on the second day, again, no problem. And set camp for the evening, wake up the next morning. And as the morning comes to bear on the third day, you guys all sort of having your morning breakfast, checking out the weather, what the plans are, and your continuing path along. You start to notice a a couple of really for me. Sorry, my 20's being slow. There we go. So you set to start noticing bugs are getting a little more rampant in this area. And you can see a patch of what looks to be some brightly colored flowers a little distance. Looks like a couple of them. You've seen some of these before with the 3 different colored flowers.
We were told not to go near them.
And we've been good not to go near them so far. Let's keep it that way.
Should we
Honestly,
plan a
anything beautiful or just out of place at all is just kind of a red flag. Like,
Speaking of which, should we plan a bean?
no.
Oh.
You do have a good point. Doesn't Quinn have a bean that Quinn's been waiting to plant?
Yeah, Quinn has a bean. Quinn's been waiting to plant.
I do have a bean.
Maybe not beside the flowers. Let's, later?
How much later?
Like, not beside the flowers.
Okay.
You've got a pretty decent ways away from them. They're not right on top of you. You guys are aware that these things typically don't really move much.
They shouldn't move at all if they're flowers. I'm just saying.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Right, but you've seen these before, so you're
Yeah.
somewhat...
These are those weird zombie flowers.
Yeah, let's stay far away, like a football field's length away from that. Okay, plant your seed.
Alright. Everybody, maybe you want to get farther away? I don't know.
Do it again. I'm gonna punch someone in the face.
I'm gonna step 30 feet back.
I'm gonna stay next to Quinn.
Okay, so Quinn's gonna find a nice little place. He's gonna get some water and a little trough, his little shovel, his pail. He's gonna dig a little hole. He's gonna take
Wait,
this
you took
bean.
a pail.
It's called flavor text. And I'm gonna drop the little bean in the little hole and then bury it, pat it down real nice, and then sprinkle water over it, and then run away as fast as I can.
And as you're running, roll me a D100.
I will stay next to it. Like 10 feet away.
Oh, come on. 61 to 70.
No.
Salada loves those numbers.
It's not
Okay.
61 to 70. I do love those numbers.
Okay.
Oh no.
Salada, as you were standing there, you feel a rumbling in the ground
Not
as
again.
cracks appear from the center of where the bean was planted.
Okay.
All of a sudden, crashing vertically into the air beside you is a 9-foot tall, solid stone Quen. As it looks down on you and says, "Ugh, I look like this thing. What is this? This thing is... this is heinous. Have you ever seen a more despicable thing such as me?"
What?
Never.
You look like Quinn. Stone.
Do not compare me to that person. Quinn is a vile, heinous criminal. Wanted for murder.
I don't think so.
Whoa, libel and slander! I'm sorry, who are you? What's going on? I love the savagery, but what is happening right now?
You there! Horned one! Go find and slay the Quen! You'll be a hero in this realm!
Just out of curiosity, what color is the stone?
It's just almost looks to be a granite stone. It's just sort of a gray, with little bits of like almost marbling going through.
I wish we were in a city.
No.
Yes, 'cause while that would be hysterical out of character, directing people to hunt down Quen for
Explain
being a
Quen.
murderer in the city, yeah, you'd have guards.
Listen, I know the Quen is a murderer, but no.
Don't encourage it.
Listen, I'm just an honest, really great person, unlike you, Quen. Anyways, giant stone Quen. What's the deal? What is going on?
Why don't you like the Quen?
How can you ask? This
the
person
Quen-
is vile! They steal sweets from children!
Yes.
I
Okay,
mean,
no,
it's
that one's
true.
false.
True. And
Listen, you just gotta love your body. Like, it's all about acceptance. It's gonna be okay.
I slowly start to walk away from the stone Quen.
And as you do, it doesn't move. It just keeps yelling out at any time that Quen is within its peripheral vision. The statue just continues to shout random insults at Quen. As it sees any of the rest of you, it is basically telling you some story that Quen has done to try to convince you to go and slay Quen. As Quen is this heinous villain that must be put to death immediately.
Yeah, but we like him, so we're gonna keep him even though he is heinous. So
Are we trying to argue with the statue? Just
Yeah.
think about it for a second here.
I love this.
So, are we going to make camp, or what's going on?
Oh, absolutely. Right here in front of the statue.
Oh, I'm just going to camp it behind the statue so I can't see.
All
but-
night.
Malik, do you want a bean?
You wanna plant another one?
Do you want a bean?
Yeah, I'll plant the bean.
Okay. I'll take it
I want
out
my
of
own
the
statue.
audio.
you get a bean, and you get a bean.
Oh dear God.
Oh my God.
And sure enough, we now have a 9-foot tall sculpture of Melek.
Wait, are they going to start accusing each other of murder?
The two of them are now facing at opposite directions. There is really nowhere you can go that one of them is not seeing you and yelling at you to slay the evildoer.
Wow.
All the I want my own statue. Melek, you have a 9-foot statue. Actually, Solana, Devaney, and Quen, go ahead and make a perception check.
The best day of my life.
Okay, I'll just wait for Quen. Okay, so Quen and Solana, you both noticed the statue of Melek. One of the horns is a little broken.
Creepy.
And Melek, you are hearing all the shouts you're hearing about your vile deeds. Adulterer, philanderer.
Thank you.
Yeah, very much.
Given the bard nature, most of these things it's yelling about you being vicious and vile for is probably something you're
It's just listing
Almost
off
proud
my
of.
specialties. Like, it's just my talents. Like, thank you. I
Do
know.
you want a statue?
I just see Melek like
I look like a bean.
antagonizing it, like and.
come on, you got more than that.
Okay, I'm gonna take one out of the tabby I'm holding. Alright, we have 5 magical beans left. Devaney, here is your bean.
Thank you very much. And
2020.
Devaney will put it in a pocket and save it for later. I think we only need 2 statues is quite enough, I think.
Alright. You're no fun.
Okay, now I
I'll
think
just
we
add
do.
fun later.
I'm gonna mark the spot.
On the map?
Oh my gosh.
I just want to know where this great prank spot's at, because we're leaving these statues, and we're getting bugged. Oh, it will not be. Oh, boy. I hope it comes back to bite us later, where like suddenly somebody shows up and they're like, "The statues I found in the jungle told me to kill you, you evildoers."
Oh, that's only a little psychotic.
That's kind of funny.
So
I
if
mean-
we are going to camp here, Devaney will retrieve her earplugs and put them in.
This is true.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. Right here. Right in the greatest spot on earth.
Yep, the greatest spot
Okay.
on Earth, and within eye shot of a flower that's trying to kill us, and two statues that are trying to tell us to kill the other person. Or both of them.
As you're putting the earplugs in, Devne, you notice it helps, but these things are loud.
Divination,
they're
we can't...
9 foot tall stone loudspeakers that are screaming about murder and adultery and Lord knows what else as people are making their during watch.
Stealing candy from children.
Do you want to, like, go, like, maybe a mile more, half a mile more into the forest or something? Or... No?
If you think it would help, yeah, sure.
Honestly, I'm down. We've been here for probably 20 minutes, and I'm already get tired of hearing how great I am. So we can move on.
Okay. We're gonna move on.
Okay, as you guys continue on a little ways. And as you're walking, it takes you about another 20 minutes or a half an hour. You know, again, at this point, as you've already had unloaded from the canoe, it's easier for you guys to just sort of pick up the canoe and walk the last little bit of distance rather than load everything back up, back in to move it down. So as you're wandering down towards, you said you wanted to go about so into the further in. So
Yeah.
what's the marching order that you guys would be heading in?
I'll go first.
Okay, so we've got Solana at the front, then who's next?
Probably behind her.
Okay,
And
Solana.
Devaney's going to be at the rear.
Okay, we got Devonay at the rear.
Quinn's in the middle, somewhere
Okay.
in there.
Oh, put Quen and Dragonbait in the middle there. Okay. So as you guys are meandering along, sort of heading up towards your next point of, where you feel comfortable enough setting up camp, walk for about 10 or 11 minutes, starting to get away from them, when all of a sudden, Solana, you feel something under your feet.
Ah, it's a bullet.
Does a 20 hit you?
Yes.
And Melik, you're the first one to notice this, as you literally have to jump backwards as these massive green what appear to be leaves reach up from the ground where Solana has just stepped, and Solana vanishes inside this leafy thing.
What?
And with that, I need to ask you all to go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, actually, give me a second. Let me, for argument's sake, we're just going to jump back over. Solana, take a jump with me, Ms. Producer, over to the other map.
Sure.
This one we're just going to go Theater of the Mind, but we'll throw on here so you guys have access to your tokens to use. pull this over.
Looks like a giant cabbage.
I don't like how that looks at all. That's a vegetable
Oh,
I'd
it's got
pass
man
on.
traps. Wonderful.
Looks like lunch.
Okay. And then we have dragon bait. Okay. So, and with that, we will reorganize you guys. Okay. So as we start up here, Quen, you watch as in front of you, Melik and everyone stops short as you watch as Solana vanishes inside this large leafy animal or thing.
Okay, so I definitely see like its like body, like its mass.
What you see is on the ground. Think of like a Venus flytrap, how it's wide open. The minute something lands on it, it snaps up around it.
Oh,
You watch as these two large things reach up and grab Solana and come back down to basically just about flush on the ground.
yikes. Okay, well I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
Okay. So that will definitely hit. So go ahead and roll some damage.
Am I on
Or
fire?
that. Huh?
Am I on fire?
Nope.
Okay, good.
No, I don't think Firebolt makes things catch on fire.
Okay.
It will
Flammable
if it's-
object does, yeah.
But no, you are currently trapped inside this creature.
Great.
Okay.
That's it, that's my turn.
Okay, so that's me. Okay, and you're staying right where you are beyond that?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll bring us over to Dragonbait, who is right behind you. Who is going to sort of look and at the group to try to get you guys to set down the canoe so he can go charging off. But we'll wait for a symbol to see what everyone else is going to do. Okay, so Solana, you are currently restrained and blinded inside this creature.
I'm gonna
So
turn,
at the start
can I
of
turn
your
into a crocodile?
you will be able to do it in a moment. At the start of your turn, though, you take 18 acid damage
Oh, ow.
as the man trap is attempting to digest you.
Ew. Gross.
Druids are food, not friends.
No,
Okay.
we are friends. We're nature's friends. Wait, do I want a warhorse or a crocodile?
8,000% crocodile. Warhorse don't have any weapons.
Okay, crocodile it is.
Okay, so let me take a look here. So as this may get somewhat interesting.
So I'm just gonna try to
Okay.
fight my way out of this.
Just now I gotta see beast and crocodile use. Right. Okay. Actually, that is enough. Melik, I need to ask you to make a dexterity save for me.
Roll too far. Oh, there's Dex. Okay, dexterity.
Oh, you're fine. As all of a sudden you watch is this sort of leafy overcovering on the ground starts to almost bubble. You get the image of like someone about to be sick as the top of it almost explodes open as this massive crocodile is projectile vomited from the mouth of this thing as it can't eat something that large.
Y'all already know this, but I much preferred the statue that was yelling insults at me to anything that's happening right now.
So, Solana, as you sort of crash to the ground, that is it an action or a bonus for you to wild shape? I can't remember what
It's
circle
an
you are.
action.
Okay. So, yes, that would end your turn, and that'll bring us over to Melik, who has just watched Solana be swallowed and the crocodile be puked up from this plant in front of you.
No. Okay, so I'm just gonna cast Shatter on this. Well, okay, how far is Solana from the thing?
Solana's probably within a couple of feet of it. You would either have to go on the side with Solana and hit the crocodile, or you could do it closer to you, but you guys are still, the canoe's with you.
That is quite woof. Boy, wow. What to do? Can't really. How far is? Dang it. Can I?
I'll say go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
See how you see how well you can sort of gauge. Take a shot here without
Right here.
hitting one or the other.
Ooh.
You can find a way to work your aim so you don't nail one or the other. So, if that's what you want to do, you can definitely hit the plant and.
Sick.
Ooh. You watch as this thing is starting to wilt in, and retreat. It is not looking in good condition.
Awesome. Am I too close that I can't take a step back?
Well, you can definitely take a half a step back. It's just you guys are still sort of holding the canoe.
That's right. Okay.
So it's one of those you can step back, and you can probably get about 4 or 5 feet back.
I'm gonna take like an instinctual step back. In that case, just kind of like a flinch, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. And that'll bring us to Devon A.
So if I start to put down the canoe, will everybody just follow along, or do I just have to keep holding onto the canoe for my turn?
Nope. The only one who's mentioned anything about putting down the so far, or like holding anything, has been Dragonbait. Everyone else is just sort of doing it and keeping the canoe over. If one of you says you want to put it down, I will assume it's a free action for the rest of you to just sort of go, "Oh, good," and set it down.
All right. Well, Devonay is going to put the canoe down because it's easier to fight when you're not holding the canoe.
So you all sort of twisted a little ways as Melik being up front and seeing this massive thing in front wants to keep Stephanie as far away as possible. So easy enough to twist it away from the massive leaves you're seeing.
All right, and I'm going to do a chromatic orb at the plant, and I'm going to do fire.
Okay. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit. Yeah, I was going to say there's no point in even rolling. As you watch as this massive plant that's in front of you starts to wither in on itself. And as you're watching, is there anything else you'd be doing as you're watching it start to burn?
Well, I'd probably look around to see if there's any more of them.
Go ahead and make a perception check. From what your quick glance is telling you, looks to be like you're pretty much okay.
Wow. I believe we fought these things before.
I don't think so. I don't remember getting swallowed.
I do remember
maybe they're just
Azaka and
fine.
Dragonbait getting assaulted by some plants, but those seemed more viney and less leafagey.
Well, if anybody else sees something suspicious, let us know.
I'm a crocodile.
Bruh!
Yeah, that's my turn. Oh, if there are any other plants around, I'm going to ask Avolta to try to distract the plants out to help out somebody else.
Okay. So as you've got a vault sort of doing loops, looking around. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. So as you guys are starting to look around, and it is actually going to be Quen and Dragonbait who all of a sudden start feeling the ground beneath their feet moving. Quen, the first one is coming at you. It's a 23 hits, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And then Dragonbait is a 20. So as you guys watch as both Quen and Dragonbait are now pulled underground from where they're standing. Quen, at the start of your turn, you take 15 points of acid damage.
Rude. I use my reaction and I cast Hellish Rebuke.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll. Okay. Holy. Okay, so this is it is a dex save. Let me just take a look here. And I'm actually going to give this disadvantage on its dex save because you are pretty much inside it. It's not like it can really move that well to get away from you. So
Okay.
that is
What an agile brain.
what an agile stomach this thing has, as somehow it manages to just sort of push that blast into the stomach acid, but that is still a massive shot to this thing's innards.
It's a very talented singer, so it really knows how to
You
flex
know,
that
it's-
diaphragm around the shot.
Okay, and that'll bring us over to Dragonbait, who is also going to take damage as a result of that. And he takes 13 points of acid damage, and he doesn't have anything he can do other than a melee attack. But being that he is restrained, he has disadvantage on his attacks. So he is going to take 2 swipes with his sword. Miss and miss.
Oh,
So he just can't get a good enough swing to do anything there. Crocodile. You just saw Quen get swallowed by one and Dragonbait by the other.
okay. I don't know whether to shape out because I know that I won't get eaten if I'm the No, I don't know why I was spit out. Okay. Do I know why I was spit out?
I'll go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Oh, maybe.
You're pretty sure where it swallowed humanoid you whole, and the minute you shifted, you got puked out. You're pretty sure it was a size thing.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna stay at my size then, because I don't want to be eaten by another one, I guess. And then take a bite at one of them, which is going to be +4 attack.
Okay, so which one are you going after? Quen's or Dragonbait's?
Dragon base.
Okay.
And hold on, let me roll something. That does not hit, I guess.
Okay, no, unfortunately not.
Okay, well that was my turn.
Okay, so I'll bring us over to Melik. Same boat, you just saw Quen and Dragonbait vanish.
Are they? Okay, so they're. Okay. Are the plants right next to each other?
Within a couple of feet.
Within a couple of feet. I want to run in between them, and then thunderstep out.
Okay. Go ahead and okay. Let's see. Oh wait, this Constitution save. I don't know why I rolled 30. Fail. And fail.
Nice.
Okay, so is down and that. Okay, so the one holding wait a minute. I have that flipped. So the one holding Quen is looking to be in a slightly rougher condition than the one holding Dragon Baited. You can tell they both taken some licks, and then how far away does Thunderstep teleport you? That 30 feet, I think?
I can choose. So, like, I'm just gonna pop away from them, like, back essentially to my original spot, maybe a little further away.
Yeah, so you're fine. So, okay, and that brings us over to Devonay, who, looking at the same boat. Dragonbait and Quen are missing. What you doing?
How far away are we from these plants?
So is basically some of you were standing on top of them as you were walking along. So it's from where you were in the run of them, you're probably about maybe 5-6 feet from the one that swallowed up Dragonbait, maybe 10 to 13, maybe 15 feet from the one that swallowed up Quen.
Alright, well, then it might not work. But what I would like to do is drop a fireball on both plants without hitting anybody else.
Oh, okay, I'll say go ahead and make a perception check to see how well you're able to sort of aim it. Because we've got Melik's a little ways away, but Solana's pretty close. But yeah, with that roll, you can definitely sort of angle your roll to avoid it.
Alright, so then I'll dig out my wand of fireballs and just at 3rd level cast a fireball spell.
Okay, so go ahead and roll some damage, and I think the DC on the wand is the wand DC, remember?
15.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and roll up some damage for me as I get these guys to make their dex saves. Holy Mother of Mercy.
Aye.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. One failed hideously. The other one actually made it. Is it enough to make a difference? Okay, so the one that failed hideously is... Okay. So Quen is spit out of that whatchamacallit. That man trap. As the fireball hits, you watch as the leaves start to wither and pull back, and Quen is sort of not quite as violently as Solana was released during the massive crocodile explosion, but Quen is sort of like almost belched up a little bit. Dragonbait, that one actually makes the save, but that is still a significant chunk of damage off that thing. And you notice it is really in rough shape right now. With that, it is currently in the process of eating Dragonbait, so it really can't do anything else. That brings us...
I would like Avalta to help action on that.
Oh, okay.
Well, not for the plant, but circle around the plant.
Yeah, so Avalta is around taking the help action to help out any of the teammates. Quen, you have just been regurgitated onto the ground by this plant that is now, as you are released back to the afternoon air, you see the leaves sing in on themselves.
Icky plant stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. You're a little bit doused, but...
How bad does it smell?
I'll say go ahead and make a Constitution save. Let's find out.
Okay, I should have said anything.
Probably smells like aloe or something.
It smells really bad.
It smells like stomach bile.
Ugh.
Right.
It smells like day after drinking nothing but hard liquor and no food, just violent bile.
Ugh. Disgusting. Let's put these things out of their misery.
Okay, and unfortunately that is going to miss.
Can't hit the broad side of a lettuce head.
That'll bring us to Dragonbait, who is gonna, well, first take some damage, but then try to do the same thing to get thing and hack his way out. So there's 13 more damage to him. Disadvantage. First one hits. Second one will hit. He's only going to need one, I guess. He does not make it out. The thing is still alive.
Okay, I'm gonna shift out.
So you're dropping form?
Yeah, and I'm gonna do produce flame at like level 3 or something. If I can.
Okay, so go ahead and roll, I believe, produce flame.
Oh, I thought it would roll at a higher level for some reason.
Oh, no, I think produce flame, isn't that a cantrip?
Oh yeah, it is. Crap.
Yep, so go ahead and roll your damage. So Solana, how do you want to do this?
I'm gonna go like...
It had
like,
14
okay,
left. Dragonbait hit it for 13.
I go, okay guys, I got this. And like this little like flicker like spark comes out and just goes whoop, and it like ignites it. And,
As you watch, is this somewhat pathetic, like somebody striking a match and the match just snapping and the little ember falling before it goes out? And strange enough, as as it lands on this plant, you watch as the leaves seem to all burst into flame, as much like Quen before, Dragonbait is belched up onto the ground.
that's true, whatever.
As as Solana has started a small brush fire.
Yeah, I should probably put that out. It's druid. I'll throw water on it or something.
Easy enough to take a few moments to put that out, as you guys have managed to clear the area of your
Man trap.
man traps, and we'll shift back over to our map of the region as you guys continue along for about another 20 minutes or so until you find a spot to make camp for the evening. Good distance away from those statues you had
And the men traps.
away from the statues and away from where you guys had left the man traps, statues, multicolored flowers you saw.
What a day.
And it's been an odd couple of days for you guys, and it's here that we'll call an end to tonight's session as you guys are preparing to make camp and continue on your path towards the location of a golem and its control matrix to then make your way back with it to Port Nyanzaru and potentially, assuming you turn it over to the Merchant Prince, get a rather sizable reward for Quen.
Assuming.
And assuming you bring the item back to him, yes.
Yeah, it might be cool. Right?
It's... I don't know. We'll have to see what you guys... what happens when you guys get over to that area.
Okay.
There's... He sent you over to look for something very specific.
Yeah.
And once you guys manage to locate that, well, what do you choose to do with it once you've got it in your possession? That's
True.
beyond my scope of knowledge. But before we disappear, and time to find out what our players and if there is anyone where we ran a little late left in our Twitch chat have to say? It's time to record the Nat 20 for next week. What do our players think? What does our chat say?
Okay, so my vote's gonna go to Solana tonight for A, sticking to her moral guns, despite all the bloodshed happening during the fight. B, making us plant those beans. I was against it, but the statues were the highlight of my night. 3, turning into an alligator and unknowingly projectile vomiting out of a cabbage. That was also kind of sick.
I think the last one's the best one, honestly.
Thank you. I was gonna go to Quinn again for the dramatic catch, but Quinn just had it. So.
That was, Quinn was my second option, but yeah, I was gonna say Quinn just had it. I know that's a weird thing, but that was also like so ace. I laughed so hard.
Also, Solana for being more concerned about dragon bait than the bunny corn.
That's true.
Oh.
So then we've got Digitio chiming in chat saying that there was night, and capital reveal. Devonay royalty?
Oh yeah.
What?
Devaney is royalty.
But she's a mom.
Mom friend.
So with this, can't remember who's had it more recently between Solana and Devonay. You got a couple of good things, but
I have no idea when the last time I had it or when the last time Devin had it. So.
yeah, I don't remember. So we'll let we'll do what you always do in D&D. We'll let the dice decide. A roll a d20. Odd it goes to Solana. Even it goes to Devonay. There you go. So it looks like Melik and the threefold options wins. Solana has the nat 20 for our next week's session.
Yay.
As our party continues over to seek the golem at Vorn.
Yeah, I still don't know what that is, but that's okay.
What you guys, the important part. If you get over there, Quen gets one heck of a spell book.
Yeah.
Sounds a little spicy.
Quen, you already know of one of the spells that's in there.
Yeah, a kick-ass teleportation gate spell.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Portal the spell.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's literally Portal the spell.
It's entertaining to see what could possibly happen if you guys use
arcane. After Quen learns all the spells, technically.
You can. They can copy spells out. Yes, wizards can copy spells out of an existing spell.
Cool, so we could get some money out of it too.
Potentially, it's hard to sell, but.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's the one spell when I rolled on the chart to see how the spells, like what level spells were on the book, and then rolled what level spell to reveal to, Quen, and rolled to reveal a 6th level spell that's in the book.
So high.
It's like, actually, let me take a look at my player's handbook here. I don't even know if we get high enough to hit 6th level. I think Quen would have to roll to see. Well, you can always attempt to use it as a scroll.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think I would have to wait till I'm level
10
13. 13, I think, to cast 6th level.
Let me check. I'm grabbing.
Because I don't get 9th level until level 20.
I can't fly.
See here, wizard. 6th.
Is
Nope. So you can actually cast 6th level spells at level 11. So you will get to a point in the campaign, assuming we make it to the end, to cast a couple of the spells in that spell book.
We don't die in the Tomb of Annihilation.
Well,
And y'all were warned at the beginning.
It is called
Tomb's nasty.
Annihilation.
We can keep grinding on those darn boulets. If we just have enough beans, we'll make it.
Got 5 more. So, you've got 5 more because Solana's planted 2. Melik and Quen have each planted one, and now Solana's got her. Devonay's got hers. So that's 5 out of the 10 you had. Solana's still got 5 more in the bag. Just plant all 5 at once.
Oh no.
What could possibly go wrong?
Actually, Solana won't do that. No. She won't do that. Okay.
Well, with that, folks, we will say thank you very much for hanging along with this evening.
Thank you.
We will see you here next week. We are hoping to have a one-shot run on Friday night as our regular DM Michael is not going to be around. That is still sort of in the works, so I will say keep an eye on Twitter. You can follow at Prof Bonus. Is the shout-out. The announcements will be there. You can also follow, if you want to, at Blitz Graybeard, as once we know if there's a one-shot going on, I'll be calling it out through there. You can find us on Facebook at Proficiency Bonus on Facebook.
Like us.
I'll be honest, I don't update that page as much as I'd like to because I tend to forget until it's 2 minutes before game time. But follow along. You can also find some of our cast members from here on Twitter quite regularly, and also the Friday Night Crew. Some of the characters have Twitter accounts, like Moby, Callista, Ashlyn, Molfin. Only a couple of them that haven't joined us in the 21st century so far from way the hell back in Faerun. So with that, whatever you're doing, whenever you're being swallowed by a cabbage or insulted by a 9-foot stone statue of yourself, never forget to add your proficiency bonus. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.